Hey everyone, welcome to Kelly's Art Throb. I'm Kelly, and today I'm working in a sketchbook that I'm determined to finish by the end of the month, and I'm getting pretty close, and I'm bringing you guys along for the ride. So I have this little sketchbook that I was trying some new paper in. This is Winsor & Newton Professional 140-pound cold press paper, and I'm using it instead of Arches because when you fold Arches paper, it cracks. So it's not ideal for a sketchbook. However, this paper behaves an awful lot like Arches, but I didn't know that when I made this little sketchbook. And I wanted to try binding it a little differently because it is 140-pound paper. I wanted to try binding it in a way that each page was its own signature, so it would lay completely flat. This is a much smaller sketchbook than I normally like to do watercolor in. My favorite size is 9 by 12, but I didn't know if I would like this paper, and I didn't want to order a whole bunch of it, make a big old sketchbook, and find out I didn't like the paper. So that's why I've got this little mini sketchbook, and I just think it's the perfect size to do for YouTube videos. I started this sketchbook, and then as I got further into it, I thought it would be ideal for trying out really wet on wet backgrounds, really loose, very ethereal backgrounds. And my favorite is still to do a really, really colorful background. But I'm trying to branch out and do some different colors. And this particular background was done with nickel yellow azo and quinacridone rose only. No other colors, just those two. And I wanted to get an idea how they mix. What kind of colors do they really create? It's very feminine, but it's also still pretty bright. So I wanted to do something really colorful on this background. I'm experimenting a lot on this particular page. How much are these Poscas going to show up on this background? I'm also really interested in the relationship between this flat, opaque color on top of this sort of variegated background that shows through part of the painting. It's always interesting to me to see how dynamic it feels, almost like a feeling of movement, just because there's movement on the background, kind of implied by all the variation in color and intensity. And then you combine that with the elements that are on top that are opaque and have a rhythm of their own. And it's just interesting the way that the colors and the patterns interact. you guys are doing well. We're doing okay here. We're enjoying the cooler weather, although I kind of hoped it would hang out in the 70s for 3 or 4 weeks. We might get back to that, but right now it's chilly and pretty gloomy outside. Not exactly the fall weather I was hoping for, but maybe it's just this week. You know, it's hard to tell. But tonight, we're going to go see Kathleen Madigan. I'm very excited about that. We have the whole crew going with us tonight, and we did this we did it right before 2020. I think it was 2019. Right before Christmas, we went to see Lewis Black, who we all think is pretty hilarious. And we decided that any time sort of in the fall and hopefully closer to the holidays that it got, if we could go see a comedian that we liked, we would do that. The kids are adults now, and you know, Christmas isn't one of those things where it's like this, everybody has to wait for Christmas to get the cool stuff that they want. So we just kind of decided that some kind of comedy event or something like that would be a lot of fun as like a group family, like Christmas or holiday kind of thing. And we're a little bit early, but it's okay. You go when the comedian is there, right? Anyway, we like Kathleen Madigan so much because, well, the whole family can go and we can enjoy it and not be embarrassed or awkward about anything. I don't have a problem necessarily with blue humor, but I don't want to watch it with my kids, right? It's just, I don't know. It's oogie. I don't like that. And most of the time, I really don't like blue comedy. I mean, it's a little tinge of blue is okay, but, and I don't have a real problem. I'm not like, I don't know. I just think it's way more funny to laugh about the everyday kind of things, the goofy things that happen during the day. I also like Sebastian Maniscalco. I think he's very funny too. And I didn't think he was that funny the first show that I saw of his, but he kind of grew. My appreciation for his humor has grown, and he was so good in that movie with not Al Pacino. I can't remember what his name is, but About My Father was just really hilarious. The one really dirty comedian that I just love is Jimmy Carr, and I make a huge exception for him because I think he really is funny, but I don't want to watch him with my kids, and I probably wouldn't pay to go see him. But yeah, I'll watch him on a comedy special if one pops up on Netflix or Hobo or something like that. I'm really going to have to go through and clean up all my subscriptions because I feel like we have way too many. I don't know. My husband really likes to watch TV. I like to some degree, but mostly I kind of like to watch documentaries and YouTube. I'm a big YouTube watcher, consumer, as well as YouTube content creator. I like to watch all kinds of stuff. I've been really kind of interested in watching people go on road trips through places that I might not ever get to go or might not ever want to go, but still kind of want to see it. We started watching this one guy, Joe and Nick's road trip, and he went through all of the lower 48 states. And the last state he went to was Kansas, where I am. Yay! But he went to Kansas City, and he was looking for kind of the seedier areas and like the downtown area. I don't know. I feel like he was just tired that day or something, because there's a lot of interesting grunge in Kansas City, and he didn't see any of it. He said the fascinating West Bottoms. Well, he barely went through it. Anyway, I was kind of disappointed because he didn't make us look. I don't feel like we were represented. I mean, even like, even if you want to see the seedier areas or the less affluent areas, there's still some really interesting things in Kansas City, and he just missed all of them. It was kind of a disappointment. I'll get over it. He did do a really nice job on Wichita, and I've been to the outskirts of Wichita. I haven't really been through Wichita and all that, but it looks like there are some interesting places. We may have to drive out there. I kind of like to drive through the Flint Hills of Kansas. That's pretty interesting. Well, anyway, I'm just about done with this little sketchbook entry, and I enjoyed doing it. I learned some stuff. I had to go back and kind of emphasize with dark ink. I learned that my platinum carbon black ink that I use in my fountain pen is not as dark and rich and velvety as the Posca black. So I ended up kind of redoubling a lot of my efforts on this. So next time I'm going to know to just go ahead and lay some of this stuff down with the Posca. And again, I'm really sorry about my head being in the middle of all of it half the time, but I'll take care next time. In the meantime, you guys, enjoy doing your own creative pursuits, and I want to thank you for hanging out with me, and I hope maybe you were doing some art while I was doing some art. And I will see you guys in the next video next week. In the meantime, take care, be creative, and smooches. Bye.